Advantage. Knock on scrum.
Let's go, bro. Let's go. Great chase, Rosa. Hey, Ross. Hey. Here we fucking go, boys. Come on.
Yeah.
Let's go, Andy. Come on. Let's go, Andy.
Remember what we spoke about?
Yeah. Hold control.
Okay, Captain, remember what we spoke about? Hold on the line.
Newcastle. Second. Let's go, Zina. Let's go.
Down the middle now, yeah?
Second.
Crouch.
Third.
Bind. Set. Steady.
Boys got to work. Balls
Stay in
in.
the scrum.
Balls in. Hey, break.
Sorry, sir.
Hey.
Stay there, Don. Use it. Let it go. That's 10. Don't push the ball into him. Yeah, you're good. All inside. Knocked back by White. Advantage, lock on. Advantage over. Everything okay for you?
I don't have a clear view.
It's all good, George. You heard me there, George. Happy?
I did. Thanks. Water. Inside.
Use it! Just make sure you get that full bind at the back. If that's, just make sure you're getting that full bind, that it's not just your arms up to the shoulder on the bind at the back. No, here, the rock. You stay there? Second man in. Rook had formed, number 6 put his hands on the ball afterwards. Shot at goal's called. Number 6, the Rook had clearly formed, and then number 6 came in too late to try to play it with his hands. No, it's not you. Johnny, can you just stay on the halfway line here and make sure everyone's on side? It's okay, I'm taking this side. Last hour 50 to 8. Back. Use it! Use it! Hey, that's all. that back from Jenny. Thank you. Going to be okay? All right. And just back behind his crease.
Jackson looked up. Nice little bit of intricate play. Again, the inside ball came to Grigg. McDowell in support, and Kyle Steyn, your first touch in a Glasgow Warriors jersey. He saw his name in lights. I'll give credit to Owen Lane though. He worked back from his right wing, and I think he probably would have got to Steyn. The pass wasn't on the money, but it was an unbelievable bit of play. The ball in play so far in this game has been the time has been high.
And I think you've got to give both teams huge credit, because they haven't played for 3 weeks. So it could have been a case they were a little bit rusty. It's always difficult when you've had that break mid-season to hit the ground running, but both teams deserve huge credit for the way they've approached this game so far in the first 10 minutes. Whether this tempo can stay this high for 80 minutes, we'll wait and see, but a fantastic opening 10 minutes this game.
Well, the forwards will have taken a breath.
Yeah, there's some tactical injuries there from a few of the front 5 players.
But the responsibility will be left to that of scrum half Lloyd Williams, after Mr. Clancy has had the obligatory chat to the front rows.
When you look at it, Glasgow already in this game, I was excited to see Xander Fagerson back after 5 months out injured, and he's been prominent in attack so far. Alongside him, George Turner returning tonight as well. So as a front rower, I doubt this is the sort of opening 11-12 minutes.
Welcome back.
Exactly.
Bind.
Lungs like crisp packets early on in this game.
Fairly solid from the Blues. Williams moves across. A little axis with Lilo again. Just make their way out of the 22. Williams comes in, organises now. Holds Seb Davis off.
Not out. Back to the hindmost.
It'll be the right side of the pitch for Williams from his left foot. Under a little bit of pressure. That's come in field. Jackson should take this. Oh, it has gone forward. Now, can the Blues pinch that at the base? No. It'll be a scrum.
Does Ray Lilo ever get tackled by the first defender? His footwork, he's been used off 3 strike moves so far, and that one obviously, it was Nick Williams off the back of the scrum, but Ray Lilo got past McDowell. Yes, McDowell managed to get him to ground a little bit, but he's always makes meters, which off a first phase set piece is so important.
It's not just his footwork, it's his strength as well. He's a
I just don't want to pre-engage.
real powerful runner, Lilo, and you're right, those extra 3 or 4 metres for a pack of forwards to get up from a scrum and to be going forward to that next breakdown is invaluable. So really started the game.
Well, you also look from a halfback's point of view. If you can get a forward to set a platform 2-3 metres just behind the gain line, then exit strategy is so much easier. Might have heard a shout then from someone within that pack shouting "Discipline, Blues," and that is of paramount importance this evening.
I'm telling you where to stand.
Yeah, with 2 scrums and
let's not get into a rut here.
don't want to tempt fate here, but 2 completed scrums without any sort of shenanigans, no resets, no free kicks. Solid from both teams as well. So,
well, there's 2 scrum halves this side. We'll bow to your superior knowledge.
you watch this one collapse and we'll have 3 or 4 resets, but it's good to see. And I think that's where the pitch, you mentioned the pitch earlier more, I think that's when it does come into his own in scrummaging. You know, the players don't lose their foot in as much. Another good scrum from the Blues.
The strike as well from Dacey, you know, that gets it straight to Nick Williams' feet.
Go forward ball. Evans, the boot this side for Lane. It's about the bounce. Tried the foot, but it didn't come off.
In trouble.
And it gives Glasgow the opportunity, and you would feel that they would score here. Little inside ball. They're going to go all the way, and from nothing, it is centre. Nick Grigg goes over for the try. Crossfield kick initially from Evans, didn't quite come off, and it was Glasgow who ran the ball back and scored a try through centre, Nick Grigg.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a nothing kick for me from Jared Evans. Yes, it's in behind. You see, potentially kicking for Matthew Morgan and Owen Lane, but neither of them looked like they were properly on the chase, and it dropped to Rory Jackson, and it's just all too easy. Glasgow looked up, Nick Grigg on the inside shoulder, Pete Horn alongside him, McDowell alongside him. Yes, you could say if Owen Lane had managed to get past Jackson there, then the opportunity might have been open, but it's a really soft try concession there, and Glasgow will be delighted because having been facing a set-piece attack against them, they've come away with a 5-pointer.
Opportunity to add the extra points, just to increase the Glasgow lead. Another solid strike again, thumbs up from the assistant referees, and suddenly it's 10-7 to the visitors.
Yeah, it was a real give me, wasn't it? Nothing really on, and what will disappoint you there, the call is on. I think they should have had a bit of a sweeper just in case that sort of thing happened, where the bounce of the ball goes against you. They gambled, the Blues all went for Matthew Morgan front line, Owen Lane front line, and it was an easy running in the end for Grigg.
Evans high hanging into the 22 again. Lane chases, can't get anywhere near it though. Price offloads, great run coming, turn up.
He's a key man as a carrier for Glasgow tonight.
High crossfield kick, Stain is under that. Bounces back on the Blues side, but it will be scrum advantage to Glasgow for a knock-on.
Oh, it's right in front of us, and I think they've been unlucky there. The Blues are seem to go backwards, but George Clancy blows very early. Bit surprised there to see Peter Horn put that in the air. They usually run it out there 22. Just look at this. You can't see from that angle, but if we see from the other angle, it's right in front of us. It seemed to go backwards, but...
All right, yeah.
Two interesting kicks on the outside half.
Yeah, not one that I'm all that used to seeing, but obviously his left foot to the right touchline. Kyle Stain on this side he's a big man, and I think they want to get him involved in the game. It's not like they've kicked for territory, they've kicked to get the ball back. It was nicely weighted right in that 15-metre channel, turns it into a 50-50.
Yeah, interesting defensive centre from our own lane is starting to move wide, but starting very, very tight. The Blues 10, 12, 13. You can bet your bottom dollar here that the Glasgow Warriors lost something up their sleeve. Now they're shuffling out.
Yeah, they've painted one picture, haven't they? And then they've changed that Lane's come in for the penalty advantage.
Oh, they've done well. A little wraparound by outside of Horn. Inside ball. And this is going to be another try. And it will be scrum half Ali Price. And it was, again, from nothing, wasn't it? Soft try, really, from first phase.
It was, but you know, easy in hindsight. But I was just looking at our setup from the Blues 10, 12, 13, and Owen Lane was really detached, and it just looked vulnerable. It just didn't look right to me at the outset. And in fairness to Glasgow Warriors, you still got to execute the move, and it was a brilliant incision and support play again, but it just looks so vulnerable. That's too easy.
Pete Horn's timing onto that ball was just brilliant, and he's such a versatile player, 10 or 12, but that was a 12s line, and Ali Price on the inside, that's their 50th try of the season, and it's their 22nd from first phase. They put such a big onus on that first phase strike play, and they've absolutely nailed that one, exposed the Blues defence and capitalised on it.
It was a great pass from Price in the first place, kept the ball flat, kept the Cardiff Blues defence interested, and you say they were very narrow with... They almost looked nervous a little bit because they were shuffling across.
Yeah, I think, like Rory said, they wanted to show one picture early on and then change, but it just looked vulnerable from the outset, and they caught out.
Ball just slides inside the left-hand upright, and suddenly the visitors have created a 10-point difference.
Yes, good support lines, isn't it? They're all good by Grigg as well. He knew just to pass it on straight away. and Ali Price gets his just desserts.
You talk about Smiler before the game, the career he's had. There's another guy that loves to smile, plays with a smile on his face all day, Ali Price.
Restart goes pretty much the same way of the previous two.
Does carry well, doesn't he, Roy, George Turner?
Just hard, it just seems like a headbanger, doesn't no regard for his own body.
Knocked back by Glasgow.
A little bit of width from Glasgow, come back in then via
Release, captain.
one of the try scorers, Nick Grigg. The other try scorer, Price, offloads. Plenty of runners available. It's that man again, George Turner.
Yeah, from the Blues' point of view now, you're just looking for one of those maybe steals, those momentum changing steals in the contact area, or somebody come up with a big play, because they are cutting loose, Glasgow, at the minute.
On that far side, a little bit of soak-up tackle from the Blues. Price is at the base. Little offload into midfield.
And away, tackler.
Tackle is eventually made by Thornton. Allen, front rower. Has support from Ferguson. Left foot then of Horn. Should be easily diffused by Morgan, is so. And I think just have a little chat with Cardiff Blues team manager Gavin Cooper. Gav, Andy Moore. Just a quick one. It started off very, very well for the Blues, and then they just seem to have let in a couple of soft tries.
Bueno. I'll get you on the line, Blues. Yeah, Blues are on the line.
Just a little bit of lack of concentration, you think? I think it's 8 tackles missed so far. Quite right, well, fingers crossed, and let's hope for an exciting game. Thanks, Gav. Morgan fields the ball, pushes it down into the Glasgow half. Just no thought of kicking whatsoever. It's Stain who's come off his wing into midfield. And the player who's been making a name for himself with Scotland's under 7 circuit takes the ball into a ruck. A little offload from Price. Is that forward? Well, it's definitely a result in a scrum advantage. Williams has the opportunity to start another attack. Dacey pulls it back. Lilo steps inside the clutching arms of Gordon, the open side.
Advantage over.
Advantage is over. So the Blues will come again, nudge through from Evans. And that'll go over the touchline. And you have to say, very, very entertaining game.
Yeah, it is. It's fast-paced, both sides, massive attacking intent, whether inside their own half or the opponent's half, moving the ball around. For me at the moment, Glasgow are getting the quick ball that they crave. They've got a flow in their game, they've got a lot of movement, they've got inside-outside options on the ball carriers. Their key men are stepping up. Xander Fagerson's been at the fore, George Turner's turned up, Adam Ash in the back row, and then they've got the likes of Grigg and McDowell in that midfield, so they're getting the front foot ball, and this dangerous Cardiff back row so far have been kept off snaffling it.
Yeah, it's a key point. I think the way they've attacked, because they're having one-on-one tacklers, you know, they are controlling the defence and they're controlling the contact area, and it's allowing Ali Price to get quick balls. So it's just so far it's been brilliant attacking play from Glasgow.
Well, it's the same pattern of play again. Price finding a flat ball to Stafford McDowell in midfield. Little wrap around coming then from Peter Horn. Little knock on from the Blues. Could pay dividends though, and you can see that it takes them into midfield very, very quickly and gives them all sorts of attacking opportunities.
It definitely does. That one there for me was maybe just a little bit intricate. You know, you're on your own 40-metre line. Get the gain line first. As it was, they just about got the gain line, but the ball out the back is good defence from Lilo stepping up and forcing the defence back inside to Jared Evans. Ali Price, just eagerness off the breakdown. The timing wasn't quite there from the forwards. As it is, Glasgow got a little bit fortunate with the Blues knocking it on. They get another chance, and as we've already said, the importance that Glasgow put on this first phase.
Yeah, and it's a really difficult area to defend. You can see, well, you can't see, we can see Jared Evans and Harry Miller just having a chat who goes where. Glasgow have loaded the sort of blind side, really, the left-hand side. You've got Rory Jackson this side with Stain, and he does give you a kicking option as well, doesn't he, Rory Jackson, on this right-hand side. If they do go to him and the defence comes up, you can just put him behind, but it's a free kick to the Blues. How often we just talk about the attacking options and then...
Well, do you know, I was surprised that went to because the Blues went up on the left-hand side, obviously to cut down the attacking opportunities for Glasgow from that scrum. So I think they'll be more than happy to have taken that.
Yeah, and it shows you what a good area it is to attack. So the Blues have decided to go for a scrum themselves, keep all the pack down. And on the flip side, you know, the Blues, Jared Evans has shown what he can do at Lilo. He's lethal with ball in hand. Matthew Morgan on the right-hand side, you know, you'd love to get him a one-on-one with somebody.
It's amazing how a decision like that can just shift momentum massively.
Absolutely.
Because, you know, that we were talking seconds ago about Glasgow having a great set-piece opportunity to attack here, get territory and field position. Now we flip it round. The Blues 40 metres out, big blind side, big open side. Essentially, all you're looking at here is a one-on-one.
Yeah.
And one of those being Ali Price, who has to drop off the scrum. It's wheeled round, and Price fly hacks the ball through wildly. They'll reset again.
Yes, one of them with the Blues front row will say the Glasgow front row are not pushing straight. Glasgow will be in Clancy's here to say they were driving forward. Alex Allen is on the loose side, definitely came up on that side, the far side here. Looked as if they went for the second shove in this league, because Nick Williams doesn't want to release that ball. Second shove comes from Alex Allen. It's a reset. But like you say, Rory, the worst case scenario for Glasgow from the initial scrum is probably pin the Blues back down in their 22. But now, great attacking opportunity for the Blues.
Bind. Set.
Morgan and Lane are on the far side. Glasgow mark up 3 there. Blues come to the left. Evans has Lilo with him. Little offload then into the arms of Millard. Well timed by the centre. Williams finds Seb Davis. Second row rides the tackle of Thomas Gordon. But there was enough done. Turnover ball, penalty, arm aloft from referee George Clancy. And the Blues will be disappointed with that.
Yeah, he's done the Blues for a side entry at the ruck, and the field position they've created. You look here, good carry there, but look at Nick Williams, the number 8. It's just such an easy penalty for George Clancy to give right in front of him. As it was, I think it was Tom Gordon over the top of it, looking to...
I think in fairness, he'd have got the ball.
He would have, yeah. And Nick Williams knew, you can see he was lying there. He's been around long enough to know he's not going to get away with that. He just overruns it. He knows if he doesn't clean out, you know, he's gambled. If he doesn't clean out, he wins the turnover. So it was going to be a Glasgow ball either way.
It's difficult to play hide and seek when you're 6'4" and 20 stone as well.
Yeah.
Turn up.
Oh, good hands.
Just slight overthrow possibly, but the captain, Harley, with great hands. And offers himself again as a runner this time. Takes it forward, still going on the floor. Entitled to do so. Left foot high, crossfield from Horn again, towards the wing. Great take from Morgan. The diminutive fullback leapt like the proverbial salmon and took that ball out of the air. Rhys Gill just down on the halfway line, out of picture, having a little bit of treatment.
Very low there, play on.
Lloyd Williams waits at the base. Slow ball. And it's been pinched. And it is that man Nick Gregg who's right in there, in the mix.
No hands.
Pinching the ball on the floor. Plenty of people now waiting. for Glasgow. It's gone forward off Williams, but it's play on. Evans makes the tackle. One-handed offload to Allen. Up to the Blues 22. Horn to Jackson. Staying again, takes it the second time of asking. Lilo makes the tackle, and it's another try. And have to say, they're not having to work too hard for this.
No, all came from a fumble in the far breakdown. But it's the speed of ball. When we see this replay, the speed of ball for Ali Price, just so difficult to defend for the outside Blues defenders. And again, really well worked try from Glasgow.
Ali Price.
Good counter, and it's just come off the boot, isn't it, of a Blues player. Griggs in there, sharp as you like, and they're away.
Yeah, it was Turner who gave that impetus, but look at the speed of it. There's Harley on the carry, creates the ball. Price really quick into the ruck, ball out the back of Swinson, through the hands of Horn, but look at Horn looking for the second touch. Kyle Stain gets through within a metre, but a little bit similar to Finn Russell's pass to Sam Johnson just before the line. He's on his back, turns round, pops that ball up. Beautiful support line. And Pete Horn, that canny operator, so often runs that support line looking for the second touch. This time he's rewarded, and Glasgow get their third.
Well, it's the way that Glasgow play. You look at many of the tries come from that support play, and both halfbacks have covered pretty much every inch of the Cardiff Blues half.
Definitely, and Horn makes it 7. But it's an area that Glasgow focus on so much, is fitness, and that man in picture there, Pete Horn, his brother George Horn currently injured, Ali Price, you know, the halfbacks always up there with the fittest, and you just see Ali Price's wherewithal, Pete Horn's timing of the run, the depth held on the outside, even with a fumble. Stain managed to get beyond Lilo, and just support lines, everyone's just so eager to get a touch on the ball.
Restart again is run back, and meters are made by Glasgow. Well, it's very much soak-up tackling now from the Blues. Front foot stuff from Glasgow. Any number of runners available. The front row all involved. Gordon, the back row at that time, took the ball from Allen, the prop forward. Swinson, second row. Width this time. Oh, lovely offload. That's been spelt by Grigg. No advantage, but there is a willingness from Glasgow to play football.
Well, their tails are up, aren't they? They're such a dangerous side. They're such a well-drilled unit. As Rory said, they're all eager to get that ball in their hands. This is from the, receiving a kick-off, and they're up to the Blues halfway line easily. Rode the blitz, Jackson, but just couldn't hold on to it, Grigg. Got to be very, very careful here, the Blues. Look, they're 17 points down. It's imperative they get the next score, and they just need to have a little breather. You need your senior players, the likes of Lloyd Williams, Dacey, Jared Lilo in the back line, just to start galvanising this Blues team, because it's far, far too easy at this minute for Glasgow.
Right now they do have to stem the tide. Richard Hodges, the Blues defence coach, for me, I would love Penny for his thoughts. You look at the number of carries there, 52 carries from Glasgow, and a big chunk of those have resulted in quick ball. For me, the challenge is, do you commit more to the tackle to try and slow it down and expose yourself wider out, or do you try and keep more on your feet and get that line speed? It's a really tricky one. Right now, Cardiff Blues need to get a hold of the ball and look after it for the next 3-4 minutes and try and turn the tide.
Evans offloads. Grigg flying up in defence, makes the tackle.
Held on too long though. It was a great tackle. He had done his job, but as it was, he just held on in the tackle that little bit too long.
Well, a rare opportunity. There's the tackle. In fairness, he couldn't move.
It's
really.
the way Harry Millard's just wriggled, hasn't he, and got on top of Nick Grigg, so he can't move. But a real sort of breather for the Blues. They needed something of that sort, just to give them a bit of momentum, a little bit of impetus, get down into the Glasgow 22 and hopefully come away with a score from their point.
I thought you were going to say he's on fire.
It wouldn't have been unfair to say so. Tell you what, it's a little bit how I imagine if a crocodile got a hold of you. That one there, take you on the death roll.
Can I just get you inside the 15 at the back?
Dacey, rare visit to the Glasgow 22, overthrow. And I suppose that's indicative of what's going on at the moment with the Blues up against it. Shipping points. defending an awful lot, and suddenly when you have an attack, you're tired, and that's when you need to concentrate.
It's a coach killer, isn't it? You know, you're given that opportunity, you're given a lifeline by Greg giving away the penalty, and then it's an overthrown line out. That's a killer for the Blues.
It's one of the big stats as well. Really, in the last 5 games, they're averaging 76% at the line out. You know, if you're losing 1 in 4 line outs, where's your platform? How do you get into the game?
You do like your stats, don't you?
Use it!
At times. They can often deceive you. That one, I'm not sure it does, though.
Come on.
Price waits.
Come on, 9.
A rare occasion that the scrum half has kicked. I have to say, it was a fairly well-weighted box kick as well. Well taken. The Blues' opportunity to begin a move from within their own half. Williams waits, finds the second row, Davis. Nick Williams was there. Ball wasn't given. Evans, wide ball to Lilo, well held. Summerhill dances inside. Just makes it to that 5-metre line, away from the danger of the touchline. Ahip, the Moldovan prop, offloads and then clears out. Evans.
Just Blues struggling to get that gain line, aren't they? Look at that, 10, 15 metres now they've lost.
Oh, it's good work. Millard, good feet from the centre. Just about eked out a gap. Dacey pulls it back to Evans. Wide ball was on Morgan now. Can he straighten up and offload Lilo? A little bit crowded in this 5-metre channel. Ball does eventually come to Lloyd Williams. Now, someone needs to recognise there's no halfback, and that man is Turnbull. Finds his number 8, and in turn finds Ahip. And the former Osprey places the ball for Williams. Morgan. Real air of excitement every time the fullback gets his hands on the ball, but he was dragged down almost immediately. Well, plenty endeavour coming from the Blues. They just need something to happen, looking to try and eke out a gap in that Glasgow defence.
They've done well to manage to get some field position and momentum here. It was scrappy for a spell.
Dacey unceremoniously dumped, but more importantly for the Blues, holds on to possession, as does that man, Lilo.
It's a 14-man, look at the Glasgow defensive line, 14 men up. Rory Jackson just rallying the troops from about 10 metres behind. Glasgow understanding the threat of ball in hand from the Blues.
Turnbull shepherds the ball back. Lloyd Williams finds Rory Thornton, and the second row takes it forward. Evans waits. Relentless surge of defensive pressure coming from the Scotsman. Lilo jinks, comes back, finds a hole. Williams, Robinson, Morgan. Oh, little dart from the way, fullback. Great play to go into the hands of Summerhill, and that is very, very good patience from the Cardiff Blues. Lovely injection of pace from Morgan at fullback, created the opportunity, offloads to Summerhill, and the winger gets his second try of the game.
Yeah, and that's a crucial score as far as the Cardiff Blues are concerned. And you're right, Andy, I think the word is patience. Seem to be going nowhere. 18, 19 phases, seem like superb defence from the Warriors, but this man, we mentioned earlier, give him a one-on-one. Harley's got no chance, gets on the outside, a simple 2-on-1 down at Summerhill.
And it's a man we've spoken about so positively. Nick Grigg just got half a yard ahead of Rob Harley, and Rob Harley's exposed. That's a total mismatch there when you put Matthew Morgan up against him as a back rower, and he doesn't need a second opportunity. That
Yeah, such a crucial time in the game as well, you know, just before half-time. Give yourself a glimmer of a hope. You know, you go in 24/7, it's a long way back, but that'll just give you all a lift going into the sheds at half-time.
Oh, great kick. Huge kick from outside half, Jared Evans. Narrows the gap to 10 points. And as you say, it was a long, long build-up, but they kept their composure.
They seemed to be going nowhere. It was all a little bit one up, a little bit individual in attack. But then when you have got individuals on the ball like Matthew Morgan in broken play, he is so dangerous and can create something out of nothing.
Well, there's been a change in the Cardiff Blues pack. Shane Lewis-Hughes has come on for Josh Turnbull in the back row. Not sure quite what the problem is there. We will update you as and when.
Inside.
Yeah, it's got to be cute. There's 30 seconds here with the Blues. Don't give Glasgow anything to chew on going into half-time. You've got yourselves back into this one. Just kill the clock and get the ball off the park.
Yeah, a couple of phases, as you say, just to run the clock down. 15 seconds, and then the boot of one of the half-backs to put it to bed. Robinson.
5.
Worryingly, the ball is now in the middle of the park. Lloyd Williams finds Evans. Evans turns, puts the ball over the dead ball line, and at half-time, it is 24 points to 14. The visitors with 3 tries. The home side with a couple from left winger Aled Summerhill. At the Cardiff Arms Park, it's Cardiff Blues 14, Glasgow Warriors 24. Well, welcome back to the Cardiff Arms Park, where the visitors, Glasgow,
Play on, nobody
start this
obstructed
second
there.
half with a 10-point advantage, and it's a happy hunting ground from the men from Glasgow. 6 of the last 7 encounters against the Blues at the Arms Park, they've come away with the spoils. A very, very entertaining first half. 3 tries scored by the visitors. 1 from Grigg in the centre, and the halfbacks Horn and Price. And in fact, Horn has 14 points to his name. For the Blues, it's left wing Aled Summerhill with 2 tries and a couple of conversions from outside half, Jared Evans. And probably more poignantly, gentlemen, it was imperative that the Blues scored at the end of that first half.
Oh, it was absolutely huge. They were getting totally dominated, weren't they, by Glasgow? And that just gives them something to take in the half-time and something to start their second half with, and just a little bit of confidence, a little bit of momentum, and they're off.
Well, it's a good pick-up from Ahip. Leaves the ball for Williams. And it's his namesake Nick who gets into the hands then of Owen Lane, and the youngster streaks down the wing, and as he's done on several occasions on this Arms Park. He scores in that right-hand corner. Not quite as dramatic as the last time he did against Connaught, but that is more than the Blues needed to begin this second half.
What a start from the Blues. Our hit initially through the middle of the ruck just to get him on the front foot, and just watch the subtlety in hands. Here is Millard behind the Nick Williams. Great little touch and timing from Jared Evans and Matthew Morgan, and that's no lack of pace because McDowell had the angle on Owen Lane, but just shows him a clean pair of heels, the right winger, and a great finish. But his subtle hands puts him away, and you thought he was covered, but just pins his years back, and that's a great start to for the Blues.
Unbelievable strike play. You just see the different players in differing positions. It was Harry Millard who stepped up to first receiver, Jared Evans on that wraparound play, and then Owen Lane, as soon as he got the hands on the ball, there was only one way he was going. The subs had left their warm-up jackets in the in-goal area. He chose not to dive on one of them on this occasion, but what a finish again. The pace that he showed down that wing. Great start to the second half of the Blues.
Well, it's a good effort from Evans, doesn't quite add the extra points, but a fantastic start for Cardiff Blues, scoring either side of half-time through that man there. That's 5 tries now in 4 starts.
Tell you what, when you see Nick Williams' line, let's not underestimate the impact that he had in holding the inside defenders. He's a big man, and Nick Grigg just got caught on his heels a little bit. The outside defenders didn't react and jam in on the outside.
Well, as you say, Lane did very well, showed no small turn of pace, centre by trade, but now plying his ability on the wing, and looked very, very sharp indeed. Real positivity about the Blues now, start of this second half. Evans, high ball. It'll be Hughes underneath it, takes it out of the air, goes on a mazy run infield. Arhip makes the tackle, looks to snaffle the ball, can't do so. Price hits the blind side, lovely little inside ball. Good offload again to Price, finds Horn. And suddenly, we've got a bit of a game on our hands.
Thought Ollie Robinson might have had that one there. I think Glasgow got away with it a little bit. He did brilliantly around the breakdown.
Swinson takes it on. Little look to Ash then from Price, and a rare mistake from the scrum half at the breakdown.
Yes, incredible how a game can sort of flip on his head, isn't it? All the momentum with Glasgow after probably 38 minutes of this game. Looked in total control, 24 points to 7 up. But you've got to give the Blues huge credit. You know, they fought their way back into there. They got the try just before half-time. They've flown out of the blocks in this second half, and Glasgow are rattled.
I have to say as well, credit to the attack of both sides, both the ambition they're both showing, a lot of accuracy. Watch this from Nick Williams. There you go, one-handed offload. Summerhill have a little run down that wing. That gave them the momentum, but as I say, it is the attack, it's the willingness to keep ball in hand again. Although the Blues have scored early in this half, Glasgow immediately got into their attacking shape again, looking at inside shoulders. It was an inside ball to McDowell that got half through. Ollie Robinson did well to slow it down. A little bit unfortunate at the base of that ruck. Nothing worse as a scrum half if a late hand of one of your own players or a foot comes onto the ball. Interesting to see Adam Hastings jogging down towards the touchline here as well. I'm sure he'll have an impact off the bench.
He was sensational, wasn't he, against the Blues in Champions Cup year? Really was. Adam Hastings with some ammunition to have on the bench. And it'll be interesting the impact of both benches, because, as I mentioned earlier, you know, these players haven't played for 3 weeks, and there'll be a few lungs burning at this point. So those benches are going to be very, very important for both teams.
Well, the only one from the bench so far is number 20. You can see in your picture there, just retreating from the scrum. Shane Lewis-Hughes on in the back row in place of Josh Turnbull.
George, let's go.
So both teams are coming down
as well.
This is the issue we had in the first
ready
half.
to go as well.
I thought you would have adjusted by half time.
Hooker,
let's get it right now.
He's coming on early for Christian Dacey. Whether Christian Dacey's carrying an injury, but it's interesting call from Mulvale.
Shane Lewis-Hughes had 3 turnovers against Connaught last time out, so what they've lost with Josh Turnbull and his tenacity and Mungler on the breakdown, they've probably got a like-for-like replacement there.
Yeah, he's young, he's inexperienced, you know, bags of talent, but Josh Turnbull, they wouldn't have wanted him.
Straight in.
It's one of those momentum changes you mentioned in the first half, Rory. Well, there's nothing scrums really, but you can see the free kick in this area. Be interesting to see what Glasgow do here. The Blues, they opted for the scrum, if you remember, back in the first half. Can't go to touch, obviously, because it's a free kick.
I think you get them all together. Get all the big boys together out of the way.
Big boys in there. And interested to see what Glasgow have up their sleeve from this scrum.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're desperate to swap the hook, as he must. I can only think Christian Dacey's...
Well, Rhys Carey as well. So 2 changes in the front row.
Perhaps I'm wrong then, Moro. Perhaps it is just a tactical substitution, bringing off a lot of experience in those 2 guys there. Don't seem to be injured, but bringing on the youth of Liam Belcher and Rhys Carey.
Well, certainly Carey, the prop forward, is someone who likes to get the ball in hand, not afraid to run with it either. So with Dacey going off,
Crouch.
the captain's armband will be worn now by number 8, Nick Williams. Not a bad replacement.
Set.
Well, I don't think it'll be a scrum again after that. Frustration. Free kick given away from the first scrum, a reset, and then a penalty.
And I think, you know, if they are injured, then it's a good decision. You know, they have to be replaced. But I think it's always difficult for a prop to come straight off the bench into a scrum. And Rhys Carey that time, you know, he's on. They're not quite up to speed. They're up against a front row who are right on it. So just sometimes I think these penalised are hit with getting counters off there. But I just think sometimes just wait, you know, until there's a line out or something.
I'm so pleased I bit my tongue when I was about to start talking about the Glasgow setup for the attack.
Oh, you knew he was going to...
Where are we to waste the breath once again?
Big kick this. Put some 2 scores in front if it goes over.
Well, it's certainly a solid strike. Hits the upright, let off for the Blues. And it would have been something that Glasgow wanted just to keep that scoreboard ticking over again.
Yeah, big kick. I mentioned 8 points. Bit of a psychological barrier, you know, you're 2 scores behind, so a let off for the Blues and a missed opportunity for Glasgow just to keep their noses just keep the Blues at arm's length. As it is, they were within 1 try.
Until he kicks it.
Evans goes downfield. Brought back, unsurprisingly, by Jackson. Price from the base. Runners there. Horn tackled by Robinson.
Even with 2 tacklers though, he gets his arms through the tackle, gets it quick ball again.
Just getting a little bit of information that Dacey is actually an HIA, head injury assessment, so he may well figure again on the pitch. Holding onto the base, arm up from referee George Clancy. And a sigh of relief for Underground.
Yeah, and it was Dacey's replacement, Liam Belcher. He got over the ball really early. I thought he'd gone off his feet, but here he is, he's first in, he wins that race. Gets on the ball, he's clamped on, he's still on his feet. So no release was called by George Clancy, so if you're Liam Belcher, you keep hold of that ball.
You'd be delighted if you got away with that one.
Absolutely.
And he's that sort of character as well, isn't he? He's a really gritty, gets in your face.
Ponty boy, isn't he? So, yeah.
I didn't like to add that bit.
There's a good turnover as well, and you know, we will talk about momentum changes in this game, but you think that penalty there, the missed penalty by George Horn, and the Blues, like Glasgow really, they've been very efficient on first phase attack.
Shorten line out. Williams of the Nick variety stands at 9, but it is Evans has to make way for Glasgow coming forward. Horn pulls it back. Not the greatest of passes, but it is Rory Jackson who takes the ball under pressure. A little bit of forward momentum now coming from the Blues, looking to counteract. Referee happy that that's come back legally on the Glasgow side. Little bit of composure now for the men in black. The captain fires one off, but that has been called forward, I believe, by the referee. And maybe a little bit of panic from Glasgow, playing a little bit too much football in their own 22.
Yeah, just compounding an error with a second error. That one there, the ball went to ground. It was the pass was pulled behind Rory Jackson. He was hit hard, and you'd argue at that opportunity, yes, it was potentially on, half on here, but as it was, Rob Harley, that passes forward to Rory Hughes, and it just gives the Blues exactly what they want. Set piece inside Glasgow's 22.
It'll be very interesting to see how the Blues line up here,
so
whether Lane stays. He's lurking just behind the sort of Jared Evans slot at this moment.
The shoulders
of course,
were below
it would
just flat.
mean that Hughes has to mark that left-hand channel.
I think that'd be a good idea, yeah. And then we get those shoulders up. Yeah,
Interesting to see Xander Fagerson. There's 50 minutes up. If that's a tactical substitution,
yeah, just don't buy one.
I'd be really fascinated to know if that's maybe one of the decisions coming from up at headquarters.
Yeah.
He could be straight back into the mix in Paris next week.
Yeah, he's a top player, isn't he, Xander Ferguson? So I'm sure Mr. Townsend sent him back, get a little bit of game time under your belt.
I think he broke his leg, didn't he, against the Cheetahs? So to come back and then put a good 50 minutes in, because you can train as much as you like. It's a different scenario when you're out game time.
Especially with the position those boys play up front as well, you know, when you've got to scrimmage and get around the park.
Well, turnaround of fortunes. It's the Blues who take the penalty this time. And Nick Williams, only one thought in his mind, points to the post, quite rightly so. Opportunity for the Blues to narrow the gap.
I'll tell you what, this is going to start frustrating me, because the scrum is a way of getting the game going again, and we've not had a scrum played off the base for a while now. We've had 2 free kicks, we've now had 2 penalties at scrum time. I'd really like George Clancy to get a hold of this. I'm not going to try and guess what that one was for.
Nugget.
Honestly, I'm an open side. There wasn't a loose head or a tight there, but that, I think the Blues have got away with one there. I really do. I think they were overextended. The Cardiff Blues lost their feet. At best, I think it was a reset scrum.
I was going to say I thought he was overextended. I just didn't have the confidence. Solid, and that's what you want from your outside half. Critical position, need the scoreboard to be ticking over, and that man there, another solid kick from the tee, adds another 3 points to his total and that of the Cardiff Blues. It is Cardiff Blues 22, Glasgow 24.
It's another momentum shift as well, though, isn't it? You look at that scoreboard now, just 2 points in it. Think back to that penalty that hit the post from Peter Horn. Important now that Glasgow try and stem this tide a little bit. Momentum has gone against them. Blues building in confidence. They've closed that gap by 8 points since half-time.
For Robinson playing himself into the game now in this second half. He's carried the ball a few times, made a few tackles. It's very good to see Jared Evans as well, full of confidence, organising his players, and just having confirmation that Dacey will not be returning to the field. So it will be Liam Belcher to continue in that hooking role.
It's an interesting tactic from Lloyd Williams, isn't it? You see most scrum halves, as you boys know these days, when they box kick, they keep it in play, but it's obviously a tactic to put it off the park, and an interesting one to give Glasgow the opportunity to, you know, for the line out and attack off set piece, because they are so proficient in that area. Interesting,
just talking to Ellis Jenkins very briefly at half-time, they're so aware of the counter-attacking threat of Glasgow.
Good hands from Ali Price, ball just dropped in front of him. And it was a good run from Stafford McDowell. Turnover, Robinson, lovely ball to Evans, jinking feet again. Over the halfway line, Robinson clears out. Williams is there, Belcher pulls it back. Hip was on the run, wasn't required. Lloyd Williams again finds Lilo. Lane has to go in to clear out and protect that ball. Williams offloads, and it's Hip once again who takes it forward. The Moldovan international starting to get his hands on the ball, as is this man, Ollie Robinson. Evans holds on, doesn't panic, doesn't offload, look for the miracle pass. Robinson again. Rory Thornton this time takes it forward. Morgan up in first receiver. Pass behind Dalilo, inside ball then. The 2-try scorer, Summerhill, off his wing. Lewis Hughes. Oh, that's been spilt. But it's also then gone for a double knock-on. It'll be Glasgow's ball, but better from the Blues.
Yeah, and on the flip side, the Glasgow, everything was sticking first half. All the strike plays were going to hand. That time it's a ball fired. I think it was to Grigg who knocked on to give the ball possession back to the Blues. And they're going through the phase as well. Just a little bit of a spill in that contact area, but lost all their momentum, Glasgow, at the minute. Really finding it difficult to get, even though they're still in front on the scoreboard.
Hit back there, was it? That wasn't you who were getting off the ground that you got a bang?
No, you're right, come in.
Yeah. Just looking at what happened with Christian Dacey here. Oh, just head on head, isn't it? Seb Davis. Both going in for the tackle there, and he's just come off second best, hasn't he, Dacey? So, unfortunately for him, failed his HIE. We won't be seeing him again.
Change on the Cardiff Blues side as well. That's a full new front row. Which now reads Rhys Carey, Liam Belcher and Scott Andrews. That man there, Dimitri Ahib, Moldovan international. His work is done for the evening.
Just take a second here, lads. Do you understand what it is I'm looking for here?
What odds this scrum stays up?
Steady and balance
We
before the
play
ball
off
comes
this
in.
scrum.
Head and shoulders above
Completely
the
new
top
front
of that.
row for the
Let's
Blues.
Let's go, Andy!
New tight head for the Glasgow Warriors.
Let's go, Andy! Bring the floor now!
Crouch!
Well, it'll be Glasgow to introduce the ball via Ali Price.
Set! There it is, come.
Perfect.
Put this one half like that again.
Ash from the base finds Price. Little dink over the top into space, but Morgan, Cardiff Blues fullback, read it well. And that's a very, very good kick. An acute angle, keeps it in that 5-metre channel. No surprise though, Glasgow try and run it out, but an excellent tackle by the fullback. Glasgow begin again. Robinson makes yet another tackle.
7 in the way. Out.
It's just not one of the penalties you want to give away, is it? Matthew Morgan did brilliantly, read the kick from Rory Jackson, put it in behind. I think it's Ollie Robinson. The penalty's been given against him.
Yeah, I'd like to see this again because, you know, their tails are up, the Blues. A fantastic kick chase. And like you say, great tackle by Matthew Morgan. I think Ollie Robinson's following up and mixing this next tackle. It's not from this breakdown, actually, it's from the next one. You just play it on here. Here's Ollie Robinson. He makes the tackle, he gets to his feet on the wrong side. And it's clever play, I think, from the scrum half, Ali Price, just to bring the attention of the referee. Clancy, you boys know what you're doing, don't you, scrum half? You know how to milk the penalty.
No
and
idea what you mean.
And he's absolutely milked that, so feel for Ollie Robinson.
Good open sides get away with nothing, do they? Arm up from the referee, line out still in play. Now it's down and the drive-in maul commences. Price, eyes and ears of this Glasgow forward pack. Blues desperately edging them towards that touchline, but they do well. Eventually, the touchline comes to the rescue of the Cardiff Blues.
That's a net win for the Blues again, isn't it? You see that the maul, it looked like Glasgow had the upper hand, but Blues managed to break it up, and Turner ended up breaking free and down that touchline, but he was bundled into touch, and all day long against the maul, you're going to be willing to take 7 metres, concede 7 metres if you know you're getting the ball back for a line out. The key thing now is that the Blues win this line out because they've been a little bit scrappy in that area all night.
You almost don't want your man to go off on his own there. No. You'd rather him stay in. The extra defender for the Blues is that white line. Belcher, sensibly, first line out, goes to the front, finds Davis.
They win it, but you just don't want front ball in that part of the pitch either. They're against that line speed.
Williams is somewhere, finds Shane Lewis Hughes.
Leave him go, come on. Leave him go.
A little bit of something and nothing. Scott Andrews.
Yeah, Scott Andrews isn't happy about something in that last contact. He's gone after your man, Alan Akununa.
Get the numbers there, that's
something's gone off there.
Well, Glasgow now on the front foot. I have to say, it was a pretty tidy box kick. crossfield kick. This will come towards Lane. Does well, the youngster. Great feet, almost great feet. Just adjudged to have gone over this near sideline, but an excellent take by the youngster.
He's strong as a bear, isn't he? You see, he's hobbling back a little bit, having taken a real clatter. Look at Rory Hughes here, the intent there. Perfectly weighted kick, but even there, we can't see for the I think it's the Glasgow guys with the orange bibs on the side. We'll get it from this angle there. Just his left forefoot goes into touch. But the strength of the man, with Rory Hughes at 15, 16 stone bearing down on him, full tilt, big collision, but kept his feet, did really well.
As I say, he is a centre by trade that's coming through the junior level.
Yeah, this is what's
got involved with there.
The fuss is about
the other side of the field. You just be very careful. I do not want to see that. We've had a really good game.
It's one of those. This way, Scott Andrews. I said he reacted because something had happened in that contact, and he's gone in to support Shane Lewis Hughes, and he's just caught one from.
Do you want me to finish it for you?
Yeah, you want.
see what Halanuka.
He's come of him, and nothing's come of it. So.
I think they felt it was a rugby collision, wasn't it? It was like he was committed to Scott Andrews on the for the offload, potentially a little bit high in and around that sort of shoulder area. Andrews certainly wasn't happy with it.
Well, sensibly, George Clancy, a referee, I'm not sure if you could pick it up, just had a little word, just saying, listen, there's been nothing like that in the game. Let's carry on. Good reffing.
Last 7 off your feet.
Slow ball. Glasgow pick, met by Shane Lewis Hughes. Come round the side this time, and it's Rhys Carey on defensive duty. Glasgow looking to go up the middle, tie in this Cardiff Blues defensive line. Oh, thought he was going to go then, Seb Davis. Wouldn't have been a bad option.
And this is all about now the Blues are winning that game line defensively. First 30-35 minutes, Glasgow were doing whatever they wanted in attack, winning quick ball for Ali Price, getting over the gain line. This half, they're winning those collisions. They're allowing then your likes of Ollie Robinsons, etc., to get over the ball, slow it down, and that time win the turnover and win the penalty.
And that's a pre-call. You could see from the line out, it was McDowell up the middle, and then off the back of it, the forwards obviously said, let's grab a hold of this, let's pick and go around the fringes. But the ball wasn't clean enough, it wasn't quick enough. As it is, the ball carrier just got a little bit isolated, and Ollie Robinson doesn't need a second invite to get over the top of it. George Clancy initially shouted off your feet, but then he was happy enough with Ollie Robinson's body shape, and he was clamped on it and took some moving. Glasgow couldn't get him off the ball, and he's won his side a valuable penalty.
That is the halfway line, you can see that. And that is the distance that faces outside of Jared Evans. Just going to drop short, but a difficult place to get out of. Williams brings it back inside, finds his outside half, who checks, comes back, looks for safety, looks for the support of the forward pack. Lloyd Williams finds Belcher, little offload, and that's a turnover ball. Horn does well.
It's on him behind.
A little bit of space now on that far side. Glasgow on the front foot, attacking. Well, good hands. Will eventually go to ground. And there is a knock on, and that's good defensive pressure from the Blues.
It is, but it's just not sticking for Glasgow in this half. Opportunity, like Rory said, then behind. Just a spill here. Difficult when you're running that hard, that flat at the line to take the ball. And you thought they were away here. I think it was McDowell on the outside calling for the kick. Turner is calling for the kick ahead. And it's just this, just a little bit overrunning. Yeah, it's difficult, tries to take and give Jackson, but it's a good read. I think it's Millard who's had an impressive game again on the outside centre for the Blues, stepping in, and it's a great defensive decision.
Well, another change up front for Cardiff Blues. That is Rory Thornton, who's replaced by Macaulay Cook. I think last year Cook scored a try against Glasgow, so he'll be pleased to get onto the playing surface.
Off that turnover ball, ended up dropping to Tom Gordon. off the back of a pass from Adam Ash, and you just wanted it to go into a back's hands to be able to find that space in behind. You've been under pressure, lacking possession for a long stint. You get the turnover ball and then you turn the ball back over. It's just a killer.
The Williams boys combine. Eventually the Millard comes on the straight line. Took a flat ball from Evans.
Off the leg play.
Well, it's come off the leg, says the referee. A little nudge through then from McDowell. Didn't really want that to go over the touchline. Was looking to put it into space.
Yeah, you see Horn and Rory Hughes holding their hands out. They just wanted to keep that in hand because they might have well got over. Just another spilled ball from the contact area, this time from a foot again. Just come off the side of McDowell's foot. It was either, you know, if you're going to kick, you've got to keep that in play. And just the reaction on the outside, see Horn with his arms. He knows it's one that's got away on a knife edge. Now it really is this game.
Triumvirate of officials working together. Ball coming in from this near side. Contact in the air. Simple call and soft penalty to give away.
There's just no need, not even to compete there. You know, they're not going. You've got the Blues exactly where you want them there. You've got them in Coffin's corner. They've got the best case scenario is going to give you the ball back on about the 40-metre line. Now they're going to be on the attack on about the halfway line. So really soft penalty from Scott Cummins. And
it's one of the key directives that the referees are giving. No contact in there.
And in fairness to the lifters as well, the lifters are throwing him across the line, thrown across the line. Just difficult for Cummins. But
I'm not sure that's a penalty call there. Ben Whitehouse very clear on it, but I didn't feel that Scott Cummins had any real collision in the air there.
Have to concur that. Belcher doesn't get any opportunity. Ball bounces kindly for Price. Straight foot race between. Almost does himself. Created the opportunity. Robinson in there, as you'd expect from a good open side, clearing it up, but not well. The touch. Ben Whitehouse's flag is up. Eventually, the officials communicate. The whistle is blown.
Well, the sniper's out again, isn't he? He had the Scott Cummins in the first half, and this time he's brought down Ali Price.
He did the hard work, didn't he?
He did. Just got his feet stuck, didn't he?
He did. It was the double or treble step. He did himself.
Here he goes, just bounces. Cruel bounce from Belcher, he's away. Here he goes, inside, outside, whoops.
It's going to be his last involvement in the game. Ali Price still smiling as he walks off. He looks to be okay, hobbled initially, but Nick Frisby's on. Adam Hastings is on as well for McDowell, so Peter Horn goes into that 12 position. That's good impact, good guys to be bringing off the bench.
In 15, line it over.
Right on the 15-metre line. Ball in the hand of Turner, the hooker. Tries to stay, but eventually it is Frisbee who offloads. Little ball then into the hands of Hughes. Read that scenario well, looking to make a gap. It's the hooker again, Turner. Excellently timed run from the front rower. Frisbee. Plenty of runners coming. Belcher in there, making a nuisance of himself, and more importantly, making the tackle and creating the turnover.
I think it's Belcher, he stripped the ball.
It's a fantastic tackle. Andrews just makes a few extra metres, creates an opportunity for his halfbacks to be able to clear. Nick Williams sets another ruck. Be on the right side of the pitch for Lloyd Williams from his left foot.
I think now you do get her off the park. You just need to reset. You're in a little bit in panic mode if you're the Blues. Just put her off the park and reset.
It's not off the park.
Well, it's close, but not close enough. Glasgow, bring it. Well, stray arm coming from Seb Davis.
No, I didn't see that.
Well, a call is coming in from the referee for foul play. Play on at the moment. Ball is dragged back.
You see that, Leo?
Body's coming in. Well, his hand's in there, surely. They'll go back for the initial penalty, though.
I think they'd rather the second one there from Belcher.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and the referees have been told that, you know, if there's a blatant penalty after an advantage, to go for the second penalty. Just listen to the line.
Against White, the ginger hair player.
Okay.
Strawberry blonde, please.
Mark is in here, yeah?
But you go back to that kick from Lloyd Williams or Charlie. You need to put that off
High
the park.
tackle.
You know, it's panic mode. You're just defended for your lives. The pack
We have a high tackle
on your
against
line, you
that
win the
player there.
turnover.
High tackle.
Well, the turnover that Belcher made then is nullified, isn't it, from that?
Yeah, he's just penalised. He's penalised Rhys Carey for the old seatbelt tackle. I thought it was Seb Davis initially, but it's a difficult one for Rhys Carey just to not put your arm there in that situation.
It's almost like Rory Jackson was kind of wounded by the first one by Seb Davis and kind of on his way down, and Carey ended up just lassoing him round the sort of shoulder area. It's a big area that the referees are going to continue to penalise.
Is that out of Hastings' range there, Rory? I thought they might have gone just to put themselves out of
Make sure he
penalty
hits the
range,
ground
but
before
obviously
you make
backing
contact with
themselves, they drive
anybody.
in line out.
Lifters as well, be careful.
Well, they'd be looking for the bonus point as well, wouldn't they?
They will be, but it's early. You've got to win the game first. Get that. Maybe it was just outside the range. I'm not sure what that breeze is doing down there. It was pretty calm at half-time.
The Blues looking to work that, driving more to the touchline. Glasgow desperately trying to keep together and take it forward.
Done well, Glasgow.
They've done very well now. Got a little bit of momentum. Nick Frisbee calling the shots there now. They recoil and go again. That's the 5 metre line.
All the backs are in, Griggs in there now as well. Just need to keep that momentum going.
Well, it just comes to a crumple. Well, it's been called Rhys Carey, who's having a bit of a disappointing 5 minutes.
Do you think it's
called to collapse?
One of those shots to nothing, or penalty advantage for Glasgow.
But if I tell you, they just the referee just asked, do you think they would have scored? Hey, there's a little dummy going to stretch for the line, just short. Referee right on the spot. Glasgow look to come again, under the post. Try is given. Well, they kept on and kept on, and eventually came away with the try, and that is the bonus point.
Yeah, right decision in the end to go for the corner. I saw John Humphreys earlier on, the Glasgow forwards coach. He will be very pleased with that driving line out from Glasgow. That's what's done all the damage. It's a free hit, isn't it? He thought Hastings was over. Just open play, good play from Frisbee. Just realises where he is and he's over. But all the damage was done from that initial driving maul.
Smart around the post as well, understanding that Andrews had to come round the corner to be able to get to him. As Pete Horn looks for the ball.
TMO here for some.
No, he's just calling for a ball, I think.
Oh, right, I thought he was TMO in it. Right, sorry.
Yeah, you see, as it is, Owen Lane ended up having to come out on that first receiver. Andrews had to come round the corner. Clever
Too many numbers though, weren't there? It was just...
But you go back to why Glasgow in that position. It's because the Blues didn't get the ball off the park initially from when they'd scrambled the fence, and gives Glasgow that opportunity. There's a foul play from Rhys Carey on the high tackle. A credit to Glasgow, and that's a big score now to be.
That's also the first bonus point that Glasgow has scored for 6 games.
Yeah, they've been a lot more like themselves tonight. With ball in hand for large parts. They've had a couple of poor patches within the game that the Blues have had momentum, but they've got a hold of this game now coming into the last 10 minutes.
And they go again, and absolutely no thought of doing anything there other than go straight. What an introduction. Tamilau will go under the sticks. Great work coming from George Turner. The hooker was fantastic. The Maori sidestep, well, it just went straight, but then great hands to offload. And he put the substitution, David Tamilau, still had a bit of a run in, though.
He certainly did, but you come off the bench, your team have just got 9 ahead, but look at this from Turner. Left-footed step, tucks under the left arm, sees Matthew Morgan in front of him, does brilliantly to get towards Jared Evans, frees the ball up in the left hand, and Tavita Tamilau, the US internationalist, is there to gobble it up and win the foot race in from Ollie Robinson, chasing him down. 2 tries in 60 seconds, and Glasgow have taken complete control of this game.
If you watch this game back, the Blue, that has happened every kick-off. They've kicked long. George Turner has carried up off the Glasgow scrum half, hit every first one hit. That time he breaks the gain line, and he's just a cannonball, isn't he? He just runs There's no 95%, there's no 90%, there's 100% from Joe's Turner. Every time he carries the ball, it's a brilliant run, and they have the awareness, and he's off now. He deserves a rest as well. Just to get that off-road away to Tiavallo, and it's a brilliant score.
What I really like about how he's played tonight is he's hit the ball like an absolute cannonball at times, but he's also been first receiver with that ball out the back to Horn. So he's tying in defenders, but also freeing up space for the guys when he doesn't carry it. It's really clever play.
Well, there are a raft of changes on both sides. We will catch up with those as we go. Interesting start from Jared Evans from the restart. Short this time, came back on the blue side, but it is Glasgow eventually who turn the ball over and look to play out from their 22, as they have done for most of the game.
Carried back in. Wait, Pack, wait!
Ball works its way to Morgan. Well, 8 minutes to go, and there's been a blistering 5 or 6 minutes from Glasgow. Kare takes it on, and it has been a thoroughly entertaining match for the 5,900 who have turned up this evening.
He's had a good game since he's come on, Belcher. He's been everywhere, hasn't he? Hit that really well then.
Just understands the game so well, gets himself in the right places at the right time. Does the hard work again, still making yards. Williams down that blind side, little step. Hand up in the air from Andrews, offering himself as a runner. They use him, finds Kare, front rowers, instrumental in this build-up. Jared Evans now, first receiver. Misses Seb Davis, pulls it back to Lilo, little offload to Morgan. Morgan does well, finds Lane, bundled in the touch, does that go in? It does indeed. Thought he'd done well there just to keep the ball in play. Excellent defence though from Glasgow.
This time it was Tom Gordon winning his first start tonight, and the effort, given that this is his first start at this level, 74 minutes in. You see here again getting into the outside channels. Lilo frees the ball up. Morgan, a little bit of footwork on Grigg, gets the pass away, but look at that.
Great tackle.
Great tackle from Gordon, going low, chopping the legs away. Head
probably technically on the wrong side, but just to throw himself at the man there.
Yeah.
Really good tackle from Tom Gordon.
I know, yeah. You're right.
Well, confirmation of a change. Stain, his work is done. And Robbie Nairn will come off the bench.
Time back on.
And there's that man making his first start.
Blues, remember the 10
New Zealand born in Rotorua, I believe.
The fresh air of Rotorua, eh?
Been there.
Two Scottish grandparents, though.
Slight overthrow, it is Belcher there at the back. Just short, but a capped. A very, very good performance from the replacement hooker. Blues, front foot, looking to score, looking to close the gap. Short is the call from the referee. Lloyd Williams waits. Blues have got 5, 6, 7 players out to the left-hand side. Still they continue under the shadow of the Glasgow posts. This time they go wide. A dummy from Jared Evans slides the ball through. Sensible play, and it is a hat-trick for Summerhill. They will check it, but I think there's nothing wrong with that. And it just shows the ability of Evans under pressure, short of the line, looks up and slides the ball through.
Yes, the ability to composure as well. Just not to throw the pass. I think it was Adam Hastings on the outside who shot out. We're sending the composure just to almost take a breath and take a second and see what's evolving around him, and it's a beautifully weighted grubber for Summerhill.
Checking if
just score some tries, Alex Summerhill.
The try was in front of the kicker.
Interesting to see. Here he is. They shoots up Hastings on the outside, just composes himself, just threads it through the gap.
I think Summerhill's held his feet well enough for me there.
And I have to say, composure from the winger as well in that instance. It'd be so easy to overrun that.
Jared Evans, just the understanding of where's the threat, what are the defence going to be doing here,
George,
where's the opportunity.
Yeah, it looks as if he's in line earlier, does it?
You may award the try.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, there we go. Simple decision is made by TMO Leo Colgan. The decision is that it will be a try, and as you say, It was just how many players would you have seen just throw a wild miss pass there just to get the ball wide? Evans held off and then had the presence of mind, had the composure just to slide the ball through into space.
Stuck it on the left foot as well. You just see there, in step with the left foot. Summerhill, it's a kick pass. Such clever play. And look, Summerhill looks like he's going to be on the losing side after scoring a hat-trick tonight. It's not an easy one to stomach. But Cardiff Blues have kept on fighting, and there's a bonus point there. They'll keep on playing, looking for that second point for being within 7 as well, and even potentially chasing the game. 5 minutes to go, who knows?
7.
Well, as you say, a hat-trick for that man there. Brought up the bonus point.
There he's there coming off.
Final change, Kieran MacDonald coming on for Glasgow.
It's been a great game though, gents, isn't it? Really entertaining. 9 tries, back and forth. You thought the Blues had got themselves back into it, but credit to Glasgow. Here they go. Oh. Do not fly up on Matthew Morgan.
Well, there is an excitement around the crowd, and every time he gets his hands on the ball.
Yeah, it's like when you used to play against Jason Robinson, the one thing you don't do is fly up. That's exactly what they want. You just hold your line and let them run at you, because they can make you look foolish. He's off, Jared Evans. Oh, it's Miller this time.
Great turn of pace from Evans, then puts the ball into space. Didn't really have support with him.
Nicely weighted though.
And a good follow-up. Oh, well played. Get to the 5 metre line. End-to-end stuff. And I tell you, there won't be that many disappointed people to see that go over the line.
That's still live.
Here he goes.
Needs to get out with that. Oh, that's so brilliant. Has to be the opportunity now. Morgan looks inside, find Lloyd Williams. Out the back door to Owen Lane. It's gone backwards. Play on, says the referee.
Play on.
Carey clears up. Carey, the big put forward, takes it on. Lloyd Williams finds Belcher. Belcher to his outside half. Cross kick again, just needed to be slightly further forward. Summerhill to Lilo. Once again he's in. Opportunity, gets over the line. Oh, it's fantastic play. Gareth Smith not long on the pitch. What a game.
Matthew Morgan, take a bow. Pete Horn just needed to put the ball in the stand. It's that man Gareth Smith who's got the dot down, but Matthew Morgan has no right. Look at this here, throws it in. He's got 4 Glasgow defenders bearing down on him. Steps inside, his leg strength to stay on his feet there. Yeah. He makes 40 metres to get into the 22, and from there it's just a circus. Owen Lane round the back of himself, falls to Carey. He only knows one way, and the Blues have got themselves within a score.
Oh, what a conversion!
This has just gone off the charts. They were dead and buried 3 minutes ago. No chance of winning this game. And a bit of magic initially. You've got to give Jared Evans. He's the man who instigated the attack from inside his own 22. And then it's just like you say, Rory, it is just a circus. And it's ridiculous at the minute. Glasgow rightfully are just taking all the time in the world to get the halfway line.
I love this from Summerhill. Could have just gone to score his 4th try, but just his wherewithal, seeing Gareth Smith as is inside.
No, quite right. Quite right.
George Clancy stopped the clock there as well, understanding Glasgow tactically. The Blues have one final throw of the dice.
Lane takes the restart, gets to the edge.
Now, for both teams, all about composure and keeping a cool head.
Well, you can understand why people say they don't want rugby in amongst the Six Nations, can't you?
What an advert for the Guinness Pro 14.
Carey picks a great line. The front rower goes, shows a great turn of pace. Absolutely no thought of doing anything other than running straight over Jackson. Lloyd Williams
on behind.
Evans measures it through again. Lane is chasing. But it's cleared up by Hastings.
Did well to stay in.
Did very well indeed. And amongst all this, boys, we're going to have to pick a man of the match.
Well, can't we wait to see who wins? It's going to...
Use it!
I've never seen anything like this, honestly. It's...
Run out!
Well, Lewis Hughes makes the tackle there now. Glasgow are just looking to run the clock down.
I think it was crucial what Adam Hastings did, just to realise where he is in the situation of the game, not to go over the touchline and stay in play. Nick Williams has flown in like an exit there. Ollie Robinson is trying to win the turnover. You're looking at 2 more rucks if you're for Glasgow here.
Frisbee. This ball is not going to go too far forward.
1 more ruck, and Clancy will look for the Glasgow players sealing off and going off their feet.
Well, they do it.
No, there's 5 seconds left.
There's 5 seconds left. George Clancy has said that is it. It's 5 tries apiece. It is Glasgow that take the spoil, 38 points to 34. But what an advert for the Guinness Pro 14. A fantastic game. Glasgow come and take the spoils once again on a ground that has been a very, very happy hunting ground for them. And Nugget quickly confirmed man of the match.
Yeah, there he is there, Peter Horn. You know, Matthew Morgan was sensational. Jared Evans in a losing side. Summerhill with the hat-trick. But I thought George Turner and Peter Horn, you know, he played 10 in the first half, kicked his points, defended really well when he went to 12 in the second half. So my man of the match. It could have been any one of 12 players. It was that good a game, but I'm going to give it to Peter Horn on the winning side for Glasgow.
Well, as you say, the second half certainly could have been any one of a handful of players. A fantastic advert for the Guinness Pro 14. A great game of rugby indeed. And I have to say, a thoroughly enjoyable affair for the 5,900 who turned up to watch.